So 10th principle is like collaborate. It's like seventh principle, I'm sorry. Seventh guiding principle is the principle of collaboration, which emphasizes the importance of engaging stakeholders. So with whom it's going to be done, it's like stakeholders. A well-structured communication plan plays a crucial role in facilitating effective collaboration. The collaboration occurs on the scope of the organizational design, encompassing the areas and aspects that are subject to change. Stakeholders may be internal, like employees, managers, and external, like customers, suppliers, regulatory bodies, clients, I don't know, investors, etc. Engaging both internal and external stakeholders ensures a comprehensive understanding of perspectives and all the requirements. A robust communication plan is essential for effective collaboration. This plan outlines how information will be shared, who the target audience are, and the challenge through which communication will occur. So let's go to another principle, which is keep it simple. So moving on, the next principle is, it's like advocates the simplicity, efficiency, and clarity in the design of all the processes. So this principle encourages organizations to streamline operations, eliminate waste, and address different objectives which can be also conflicting. Streamlining processes helps minimize redundancy and ensures that activities are conducted in the most direct and effective manner. This can lead to time and resources savings, improving different organizational performances. Waste can take various forms, including time, resources, and effort. Keeping it simple involves identifying and eliminating waste in all its manifestations. This could involve reducing unnecessary meetings, optimizing resource allocation, or minimizing the use of materials. Conflicting objectives can arise when different stakeholders or departments have different priorities. In a practical class, usually we discuss that all the organizations, they have different priorities, they have different departments. So keeping it simple involves a clear processes of prioritization, identifying the most critical objectives, and aligning efforts accordingly. So work holistically. Last principle is to work holistically, which encourages finding the right balance between coordination and specialization. Overemphasis on the specialization might lead to silos, hindering cross-functional collaboration. Conversely, excessive coordination without acknowledgement specialization may dilute expertise. In organizational design, specialization is crucial for the expertise, but holistic work emphasizes the need for seamless coordination among specialized different functions of the organization. It's about understanding that the sum is greater than its part, like first, second, third line. This often applies to support functions where the first line deals with basic issues, the second line tackles the more complex issues, and the third line handles specialized matters. So working holistically means ensuring these lines communicate effectively, creating smooth flow of support without silos. So consider service, technology, process pillars, as it's indicated in the presentation. You can see it. If one is weak, the entire structure becomes unstable. So holistic work in organizational design involves understanding how services, technologies, and processes intertwine. A change in one area can have ripple effects across the entire system. The concept of the 4 Ps of strategy, encompassing perspective, position, plan, and patterns, serves as a foundational framework in the organizational design. Achieving a holistic approach in organizational design involves seamlessly aligning these key elements. Perspective refers to the way an organization views itself and its place in the broader context, which is crucial for understanding the organization perspective and is crucial for shaping its identity, values, and aspirations. So next element is position, that signifies the organization's standing in the market relative to competitors and the value it offers to stakeholders. Plan outlines the strategy and roadmap for the organization to move forward. Developing a clear plan provides a guidance on resource allocation, goal setting, and the means to achieve long-term objectives. Last element is patterns. So you can see from the presentation, patterns are the consistent actions and behaviors that reinforce the chosen strategy over time. Just like in strategy, design involves these 4 key elements of 4 pieces of design. First is purpose, which articulates the reason behind design choices, encompassing the intended outcomes and goals. Second one is people. In the element, we should focus on how the design impacts individuals, people within the organization and outside the organization. And third element is process. This element involves the workflows and procedures that govern how work is conducted within the organization. And the final element is known as a product, which includes both tangible and intangible outcomes, and they result from the design choices. So applying the principles, while the specifics of organizational design might vary, the fundamental principles we've discussed, such as focusing on value, designing for experience, and working holistically, have a universal applicability. Organizational design doesn't adhere to a single rigid framework. It's about flexibility, choosing what works for your specific context and adapting as needed. The multi-framework approach involves adopting proven models and adapting them to your organization's unique requirements. So not every principle of framework will be applicable to every organization. The discerning eye comes into play here. So it's about evaluating what is useful for your specific challenges, your specific aims, and company's culture. So meeting stakeholders' needs. Let's see them. Understanding and fulfilling the expectation of stakeholders is not just a business goal. It's the essence why enterprises exist. Enterprises exist to create value for stakeholders. That's why it is important to meet stakeholders' needs. A value creation system is an approach organizations adopt to generate value for their stakeholders, guided by principles, practicing continuous improvement, governed by rules, and following a well-defined sequence of steps in the value chain. It is dedicated to consistently delivering value to those who matter most of our stakeholders. So stakeholders have specific needs that revolve around benefits realization, risk optimization, and resource optimization. Stakeholders, whether customers, investors, or employees, they expect the organization to deliver on its promises. Benefits realization involves ensuring that the intended outcomes are achieved. For example, a customer expects a product to meet their needs, and an investors expect a return on their investment. Stakeholders are concerned about uncertainties in our VUCA world that could impact the organization. By optimizing risk, organizations demonstrate their ability to navigate challenges, seize different perspectives, and protect stakeholders' interests. This can also include strategic planning, sustainable development, sustainable measures, and resilience building. So external stakeholders, External stakeholders. Now let's talk about external and internal stakeholders' needs. External stakeholders are, who are them? Like so external stakeholders are individuals or entities that exist outside of an organization but have a vested interest in its activities, performance, and outcome. These stakeholders can include customers, investors, suppliers, regulatory bodies, business partners, and the broader community. So there is a question. So how do I know my business partners' operations are secure and reliable? We can see from the presentation. External stakeholders, especially business partners, are concerned about the reliability and security of their collaborations. They want assurance that the partners' operations are robust, trustworthy, and capable of having mutual goals. This involves transparency and accountability in sharing information about operational practices, security, and adherence to these standards. There is a second question, like how do I know the organization is compliant with applicable rules and regulations? So what is like compliance? Compliance with rules and regulations is very much important concern for various external stakeholders, including regulatory bodies, customers, and investors. They need assurance that the organization operates within the legal and ethical standards and boundaries. It's very important. This necessitates transparent reporting, regular audits, internal, external audits, also communication about the organization's commitment to regulatory compliance. This is visibility. This is like making all the information like transparent and accountable through like different like website, etc., and informational resources. There is another question, like how do I know the enterprise is maintaining effective systems of internal control? External stakeholders, also investors and regulatory, for instance, authorities, they want to see the assurance that the organization has a system of internal control, like a good system, like a sustainable system. This includes process and mechanisms to ensure accuracy, reliability, and compliance with policies. External audits, transparency in financial reporting, and adherence to recognized control frameworks contribute to building confidence in the effectiveness of internal controls. So, internal stakeholders. Internal stakeholders are individuals or groups within an organization who have a direct interest or role in the organization. Internally, it's like its operations, decision making, and success. These stakeholders include employees, management teams, and various departments within the organization. In your practical class, you are going to see different organizations and their designs, and you're gonna reflect like what kind of structural bodies organizations have. Internal stakeholders often have specific needs related to the effective and efficient use of information technology like IT. Internal stakeholders, particularly decision makers and business units, are interested in deriving value from IT investments. They seek ways to leverage technology to enhance productivity, streamline process, and contribute to the overall success of the organization. This involves aligning IT initiatives with business objectives and ensuring that technology investments yield tangible benefits. Internal stakeholders are they're interested in understanding how the use of IT resources translates into tangible value for the organization. This sets the stage for optimizing IT investment and aligning them with the broader strategic goals. They also seek clarity on how to manage the IT performance and its reliability. As new technology evolves, all the time stakeholders are like they want to know innovative solutions, and they want to implement them, leverage them, and this will open doors to new strategic opportunities and tangible like income. Compliance is a paramount concern, and stakeholders actively seek assurance that IT operations adhere to legal and regulatory requirements, as I said before. This not only mitigates risks, but also upholds the organization's ethical and legal standing. It's very much important in ESG standards. Information security is a paramount concern in the digital age, and internal stakeholders, they seek for the assurance that all the measures are in place to protect sensitive information, confidentiality, integrity, and overall visibility and availability. So cost control is also an important concern, since stakeholders are keen to understand how IT expenditures align with the budgetary constraints while ensuring optimal returns on the investment. We need to recognize that addressing these concerns is not just a matter of operational efficiency, but a strategic necessity for the organizational success. To summarize that internal stakeholder concerns, we can ask the following questions to better understanding organizational strategy, performance, and compliance. How do I get value from the use of IT? How do I manage performance of IT? How can I best exploit the new technology for new strategic opportunities? How do I know whether I'm compliant with all the applicable laws and the regulations? And you can see other questions from the presentation. So now we go to meeting stakeholders' needs. Creating value for stakeholders may mean different things to customers, employees, investors, and the community. Understanding this diversity is a step in effective stakeholders management. Successful stakeholder management involves skillful negotiation and decision making to find common ground and balance conflicting priorities. Enterprises must consider the perspectives of all stakeholders when making decisions, and this involves acknowledging that what benefits one group may have implications for another. It's about creating a comprehensive picture that respects the needs for all involved. Effective stakeholder management requires asking critical questions that delve into the heart of value creation. Let's explore these questions. Like, you can see who benefits, who bears the risk, and what resources are required. So now let's consider the approach I mentioned before, so the CSI approach briefly. This approach, so continuous service improvement approach, is a fundamental component of IT service management. As it was stated before, it provides a structured approach for organizations to continually enhance their services and processes. It typically involves 6 key steps of understanding. There are questions. You can see it from the presentations. I will not be reading all of them. We go further. So you can see all the questions from the presentations. Now, what is the vision? The organizational vision is a driving force behind any organization, which shapes its purpose and steers its high-level objectives. Whether it be a business, charity, government agency, or your organization, your personal organization, I mean, any enterprise should have its own vision that acts as a guiding force for service improvement and excellence for businesses. Its vision could be to become a global leader, or to foster innovation, or to achieve market leadership. So, like any organization should have a vision, mission, and value. The vision of charity organization is usually to address society needs, promote social justice, and improve the well-being of individuals. So you should decide which vision your organization should promote in the first place. So where we are now, we should understand what is the current state like. The phase where we are now involves the analysis of our existing services. Like in your practical classes, you will be understanding like as is where we are, like as is processes. We should capture. We will of course discuss in our further lectures. So we can do SWOT analysis and evaluating strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. In your midterm, you're gonna do like a SWOT analysis to one of topics I'm gonna identify for you. So whether you are looking at your own organization, your customers, the current state is the foundation upon which future strategies are built. You can also evaluate maturity and capability of existing processes within the organization by making process maturity capability assessment. The goal here is to understand how well-defined, repeatable, and optimized these processes are, providing insights into areas for improvement. Examining process and service metrics provides quantitative data on the performance of key processes and services, while quantitative metrics provide numerical data. Qualitative metrics offer insights into software aspects of operations. So let's go to and see where do we want to be. Next presentation. So where do we want to be? Let's discuss it. So business targets set the stage for success, encompassing financial goals, market share, aspirations, and overarching objectives. It's about defining where the organization aims to be in the terms of growth, profitability, and market presence. Service level targets define the standards for customer service, response times, and overall satisfaction. The focus here is to elevate the customer's experience to meet the exceeded expectations, ensuring that service delivery aligns with organizational goals. Process metrics focus on optimizing operational excellence. It involves setting targets for process efficiency, effectiveness, and continuous improvement. It's necessary to streamline operations to achieve maximum productivity and quality. Consider the aim of your organization or your customer's organization. This is the overarching goal that captures the essence of success. It could be achieving industry leadership, becoming a pioneer in innovation, or fostering a culture of sustainability. So how do we get there? You can see here several also questions. We will be faster. So a holistic approach involves recognizing that success is never just about the tool, it's about the integration of tools, process, and people. By aligning technology with organizational goals, you can ensure that tools complement and enhance the overall structure of your organization. As such, streamlining process involves optimizing workflows, eliminating redundancies, and enhancing overall efficiency. You should ensure that every process contributes to the organizational goals and aligns with the desired future state. So, did we get there? We should also discuss, did we get there? The phase did we get there is not merely a repetition of earlier assessment, it's a critical analysis of what you have done in the earlier stages. One important element of this phase is assessing whether our measurement capabilities have improved. Have we enhanced our ability to collect, analyze, and derive meaningful insights from the data? You can see from the presentation. So you should ask all this question and understand, did we get there? So now let's consider, how do we keep the momentum going? There are let's consider the next presentation, where we are seeing the phase of how do we keep the momentum going is not just about basking in past success, but involves an approach that considers lessons learned, continual improvements, and the balance between value, cost, and risks. Lessons learned involve reflecting on past experiences, understanding what worked well, and identifying areas for improvement. Not always sticking the same indicators means acknowledging that the priorities of an organization can change. It's about adjusting the criteria we use to measure success to match our evolving goals, and making sure the organization can adapt the new circumstances. There are times when it doesn't make sense to keep trying to improve a specific measure. Balancing this involves weighing the pros and cons of increasing value, controlling costs, and minimizing risks. That the key is to optimize instead of focusing too much on just one aspect. And like conclusion, we're gonna end our first presentation. In conclusion, organizational design and business process engineering emerges as a pivotal and strategic process aimed at optimizing an organizational structure, roles, process, and workflows to effectively achieve the predetermined goals. The 9 guiding principles we discussed today highlight the significance of focusing on value, designing for experience, starting from the current state, progressing iteratively, direct observation, transparency, collaboration, simplicity, and holistic work approach. In simpler terms, making sure we understand and we meet the expectations of those involved with our organization, it is very crucial in designing how our company operates and develops. It's important because business essentially exists to provide value to the stakeholders, to their stakeholders. To achieve this, organizations adopt a system focused on creating value. In essence, the success of organizational design in business process engineering lies in its ability to harmonize principles, process, and stakeholder-centric values to see a thriving and purposeful enterprise. We will continue our journey to business process engineering, and in our next lecture, we're going to consider other topics that are indicated in your course syllabus. Thank you very much for being with me, and see you in our next lecture. Goodbye.